Jai Hind everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today we will start with the chapter Tribals, Dikus and the Vision of a Golden Age. You all are familiar with the word tribals, but we will come to know about Dikus and the vision of a golden age in this chapter. This is the module 1. So we will start with a man named Birsa in this chapter. Birsa was born in a family of Mundas, that is a tribal group that lived in the Chota Nagpur. In 1895, he was seen roaming the forests and villages of Chota Nagpur in Jharkhand. People said he had miraculous power. He could cure all diseases and multiply grains. Birsa himself declared that God had appointed him to save his people from the trouble and free them from slavery of Dikus. Here Dikus means outsiders. Soon thousands of people started believing that he was Bhagwan and had come to solve all their problems. Now, as we have already seen that Birsa was born in a tribal group that is known as Mundas, but his followers included other tribals of the region like Santals and Oraons also. They were also became Birsa's followers. Now all of them in a different ways were unhappy with the changes they were experiencing and the problems they were facing under the British rule. Now there were several questions like what problems did Birsa set out to resolve? Who were the outsiders being referred to as Dikus and how did they enslave the people of the region? What was happening to the tribal people under the British? How did their lives change? There were some of the questions that we will read in this chapter. Now we will see the tribal features. As we have seen that Birsa he belonged to tribal group. Now we will come to know that tribals, what kind of customs and rituals they used to practice. As we can see, unique customs and rituals. Most tribes had customs and rituals that were very different from those laid down by Brahmanas. These societies also did not have sharp social divisions that were characteristics of caste societies. All those who belonged to the same tribe thought of themselves as sharing common ties of kinship. However, this did not mean that there were no social and economic differences within tribes. Now we will understand Jhum cultivation. There were in the 19th century tribal people in different parts of India were involved in a variety of cultivation activities. Some were Jhum cultivators. Now what is Jhum cultivation, that we will come to know. Some of them practiced as Jhum cultivation, already I have said. Jhum cultivation means shifting cultivation. This was done on a small patches of land, mostly in forests. The cultivators cut the tree tops to allow the sunlight to reach the ground and burned the vegetation on the land to clear it for cultivation. They spread the ash from the firing which contained potash to fertilize the soil. After that particular having a cultivation in that field, like they broadcast the seed and scattered the seed on the field instead of ploughing the land and sowing the seeds. Once the crop was ready and harvested, they moved to another field. The field which was cultivated beforehand was left fallow. Here fallow means a field left uncultivated for a while so that the soil can recover its fertility, and it was left uncultivated for several years. Now we will talk about there were some hunter gatherers also. There were several hunter gatherers. Like in many regions, tribal groups lived by hunting animals and gathering forest produce. The Khonds were such a community living in the forest of Odisha. They regularly went out on collective hunts and then divided the meat amongst themselves. They ate fruits and roots collected from the forest and cooked food with the oil they extracted from the seed of sal and mahua. There were one more tribal group. They were known as Baigas. They generally belonged to the central India and could not live below the dignity of the forest and not converted into the labor. They saw themselves as people of the forest and could only live on the produce of the forest. It was below the dignity of Baiga to become a laborer. There were others also like Hajang from Tripura and migrants from Assam. Here women took children to workplace and the factories. There were several activities also performed by Khonds, like the local weaver and the leather worker turned to the Khond when they needed supplies of kusum and palash flower to color their clothes and leather. Now we will talk about some herded animals. Like many tribal groups lived by herding and rearing animals, they were pastoralists or the shepherds. That we will talk about in our next module. Till then, goodbye and Jai Hind.